Okay, you might be wondering what this floral looking dude with sunglasses is doing right now. I'm just trying to be better than last year, alright? Hello, my name is Chendur Jayavelu. I'm a rising senior, and today is July 4th, which means 1, it's America Day, but 2, AP scores are coming the day after. Today, I'm going to be showing you my predictions for the 6 AP exams that I took, which were AP Bio, AP English Language, AP Macroeconomics, AP Calculus BC, AP United States History, and AP Physics C Mechanics. Let's get started. First up, we have AP Biology. AP Biology for me was an alright class. I mean, to be honest, I don't enjoy it as much as physics, but it's a science, I'll take it, it's alright. One misconception about this class is that so many people think that you just have to memorize terms, but to be honest, the problem-solving aspect of biology is so much more important. Sure, you could know what a vacuole is or what the mitochondria does, right? But if you can't do problem solving on the actual test, then it's pretty much useless to memorize all those terms. You need to actually apply your biology knowledge to problems in order to succeed in AP Biology. So initially I had the mindset of just memorization, but I didn't do too well at the beginning of the year. Once I realized, hey, biology is like another science, right? Then I just applied my problem solving skills, and then I ended up doing a lot better in the class. How I studied for AP Bio was basically going through a bunch of UWorld problems. Well, I didn't have a subscription to UWorld. Someone gave me a free code, so then I just used that code and I was just doing a ton of problems. I absolutely hate reading the textbook. I think this will be a common theme throughout this entire video. I do not like reading whatsoever. I like videos, I like content which I can actually react with. So in this case, instead of just reading the textbook, I just did tons of problems, and that's pretty much all I did for studying for AP Bio. And I also watched videos from Amoeba Sisters. They were really nice during this entire course. Also, there was just a few units in this course that just made me mad. Like cellular energetics, there's so many things that are happening that I just keep forgetting them. I don't remember them right now. I'm just happy that I'm done with that. Okay, let's go on to the score prediction. So the score prediction for AP Biology is a 4. The reason why is because on the MCQ, I came down to 50-50 on pretty much most of the questions, right? So I didn't have a guarantee of okay, this answer is right. I was always on the edge. Is it this answer or is it that answer? So I don't know if I did the questions correctly on the multiple choice. And the free response was just a whole nother story, alright? The long questions, it just took forever to understand what they were trying to say. So what I did is I spent around 20 minutes just trying to read the long questions. Then I was like, nope, I'm not going to be able to answer this right now. So then I just went over to the short questions. The short questions were not that bad, so I answered all of them. And then once I went back, I went to the long questions, and then I did the long questions, but then I didn't really finish, and yeah, it was just a mess. So FRQ did not go as well as I wanted to. MCQ, because of that 50-50, could be a plus or minus. I don't think so I completely flunked the exam, but it was definitely not the best that I could have done. Okay, AP Lang. This class was, let's just say, interesting. I wasn't really a fan of English, to be honest. English is just not a strong subject for me. So I did not really feel super good about the exam. There was a lot of things that I learned about the class. So one, you need to connect your evidence to your thesis through your commentary, right? So you can't just state evidence and just have a thesis and then just let be, right? You need to actually explain your thought process on why the evidence makes sense towards your argument. And that skill, in my opinion, is super important. So I should applaud AP Lang for that. But other than that, I don't really know what I was doing the entire year in that class. How I prepared for AP Lang was I basically did not prepare at all. Here's why. So the MCQ on the AP Lang exam is very similar to the SAT or the ACT, right? It's just a bunch of reading and writing questions. And if you've practiced for the SAT and ACT, then there's really no point for studying for AP Lang. And if you notice, AP Lang is not really a content-based course. It's very much skill-based, and you develop those skills over time. It's very hard to develop skills within a course of 2 weeks, like just before AP exam season. You need to be developing these skills throughout pretty much your entire life. Because of that, I was just confident in my own skills, and I just went into the exam without really studying too much. In terms of the essays, here's what I did. I just printed out some sample essays from the AP website. Then I did that within the time limit. Each essay was around 40 to 45 minutes. And then I would compare my essay to the sample essays on the AP website to see if I'm doing too much or if I'm doing too little. And then based on that, I would adjust and I would do another practice exam from there. Okay, so here, another score prediction for AP Lang. It is a 4. Here's why I predict this score. 1, the exam wasn't too bad. Honestly, I thought I was going to fail because the class I was not engaged in it at all. But the AP exam wasn't terrible because usually there's like an old reading passage that's on every AP exam for AP Lang. But this year, they decided to change it and all the passages were new. So it was a lot like the SAT or the ACT. So then I did have some confidence in the MCQ, though I ran out of time a little bit there. So I was just guessing a few questions at the end. So MCQ was alright. Essays also, they weren't too shabby, but I don't think so they're like quality enough to get a 5. I know for the synthesis I wrote 4 paragraphs. The rhetorical analysis was also 4 paragraphs. The argument, I was just running out of time. I just wrote like 3 paragraphs. They weren't the most quality, but they weren't like too shabby because like in the class I did write essays where I had solid commentary. I know how to connect the evidence to the thesis. So that's why I predict a 4 on AP Lang. Okay, now we are at AP Macroeconomics. That name is just so fun to say, AP Macroeconomics. I'm just going to call it AP Macro just for simplicity's sake. It was probably one of the best classes that I've had my entire high school career, mainly because it was an entire year-long course, but it's meant to be a semester. So we had double the time necessary to learn the content. So I was able to learn it really well, and we had a bunch of free time as well. So it's just a perfect balance of everything. Some topics of AP Macro that I struggled with at first was the ASAD model, or the aggregate supply aggregate demand model. That's hard to grasp at first, but it's one of the key graphs of AP Macro. So you have to get used to it, and you'll see it a bunch and you'll get very comfortable with it. So just give yourself some time and you'll be comfortable with it. Foreign exchange and that unit 6, international trade, I just can't. There's just too many moving parts, and like I'm pretty sure I like failed that test, but you know what, it's alright. That unit is very minuscule on the AP exam. It's not tested as much, so just international trade just to know, but everything else was perfect. Alright, everything else about AP Macro was amazing. I studied AP Macro through Jacob Clifford, and Jacob Clifford is my savior. He is the economic savior. His videos are so in-depth, and I was able to understand everything he said extremely clearly. And he's probably one of the reasons why economics is one of my favorite subjects in school. My teacher was also pretty cool as well, and he posted a bunch of AP prep material in AP Classroom, so I did go through that content, and I saw I was doing pretty well, so I just stuck with that, and I didn't really do anything else for AP Macro. My score prediction for AP Macroeconomics is a 5. The reason why is because I truly love economics, and I've studied economics a lot. Actually, in fact, I went to a Future Business Leaders of America conference last week, and in that conference I competed in economics. So economics really is a strong suit for me, so it's definitely possible for me to score a 5 on this exam. Okay, now we're talking about AP Calculus BC, or the nickname AP Calc BC. I love this class a lot because A, math is my bestie, but B, this class only covered BC content. I know a bunch of high schools in the United States cover both AB and BC content, so you go through like 10 units of material and it goes way too fast, right? But the thing is, in my high school, we have a separate AB class, so we cover all the AB content in the AB class. And that's plenty of time to go through the AB content. And then BC, we just focus on BC. Even though the BC exam is like 60% AB, right, we just focus on the BC content. So it's really nice to actually just grasp the content. And I didn't go like extremely fast in that class. Everything was like well paced. We are able to understand the material. So I really enjoyed AP Calc BC. Here's how I studied for AP Calc BC. I didn't really study at all. Here's why. I took a mock exam in my school and I comfortably got a 5 on that. So what's the point of studying AP Calc if I can study the other subjects in that same amount of time, such as AP Biology, AP Lang, which I'm a lot weaker at, and strengthen that, if I can also score a 5 on the AP Calc BC exam, right? So I didn't waste too much of my resources studying for AP Calc BC, and I spent more of my time on the weaker subjects. This is another point of this video. In order to do multiple AP classes, you really need to know how to time manage. You need to know what your easy classes are. You need to know what your hard classes are. And many of you'll have easy AP classes and hard AP classes. So allocate less resources to your easy ones and more resources to your hard ones. That way you can effectively manage your time the greatest. My score prediction for AP Calc is a 5. If you look at the statistics, 41% got a 5 on this exam. So just statistically, there's a 50% chance, not a 50% chance, almost a 50% chance that I've gotten a 5 on this exam. And also math is just a really strong suit for me. So it's pretty understandable that I would be able to get a 5 on AP Calc BC. Okay, now it is time to talk about AP United States History, aka APUSH. I like APUSH for different reasons. One, the teacher's an absolute walking W. He's able to explain content super well, super in depth, that I didn't really have to read the textbook at all this year. And additionally, he understands students extremely well. So with that flexibility, I was able to learn in a very comfortable environment. How I decided to study for APUSH was basically not reading the textbook, because textbooks bore me. I'm not able to actually grasp the content well through reading textbook. So I did not even touch that book this year. What I did was I listened to the lectures in class and I just tried to connect all the events that my teacher talked about in my head, and I put them in one timeline so I can just recall, okay, this happened in 1776, this happened in 1898. So I can put all those dates together and I can have the specific period. For example, the era after the Civil War is the Gilded Age. What happened in the Gilded Age? Well, you had laissez-faire capitalism, right? Then you had like World War I, World War II, like who was interventionist, who was an isolationist, right? You have all those connections just in your brain, right? You make a bunch of connections, and I've just been making those connections from the beginning of the year all the way to the end. I watched Heimler's history. He is the savior for history. He pretty much has all the topics that you need to know for AP United States history in his YouTube channel. Every single topic video is there. So you can look at those videos, you can grasp the content, then you can make the ideas, those historical ideas, those connections. You just make a ton of random connections, right? From the beginning of the year all the way till the end. And what you do, you create more and more connections, you'll be able to do the AP exam with ease. You just need to make a bunch of connections in history and the exam will come pretty easy. I predict for AP US History, I would get a 5. Mainly because this exam went a lot better than my AP World exam, and I got a 5 on AP World somehow after writing a 3-paragraph DBQ. I don't even know how that happened, but I was a lot more prepared for APUSH. I knew the content a whole lot more. The MCQs, I was able to answer them pretty well. There was a few I didn't know, but that's with every AP exam. The DBQ was about national identity from 1800 to 1850, and there's so many great things you can talk about there. You can talk about the era of great feelings. You can talk about Jacksonian democracy. You can talk about white male suffrage. You can talk about the War of 1812. There's so much context behind that DBQ prompt, so I love that a lot. About the LEQ, right? I think I chose the question about the Native Americans. I didn't have so much evidence for that, but it was alright. The LEQ, I was able to get some pieces of evidence and get that done with. The SAQs by far were the hardest for me. Just simply getting the external evidence for those part C's, that was just pretty difficult. But overall, the exam went pretty well, so I would be expecting a 5 on the APUSH exam. Finally, we have the self-study, AP Physics C Mechanics. Why did I decide to take this? Why did I take AP Physics C Mechanics? Well, I did pretty well in AP Physics 1 and AP Physics 2, but the thing about colleges is they don't really accept algebra-based physics, because physics and calculus go hand in hand together. And if you're not doing physics with calculus, then colleges are like, what are you doing, right? So because of that, I want those credits to transfer. So I'm decided to take AP Physics C Mechanics because electricity and magnetism is an entire different breed, alright? Mechanics is the least doable. It's very similar to AP Physics 1. So I decided, why not? I might just well just take the AP Physics C Mechanics exam. Oh boy. This exam was also interesting. Let's just say that. Fortunately, AP Physics 1 was the only AP class I took freshman year, and that stuff is literally ingrained in my brain. So I didn't have too much trouble actually getting the content down, but after just studying for only 2 weeks, it was certainly not enough. Here's how I studied for this exam, even though I don't think I did really well. First, I did a bunch of practice problems from a resource that I found from MIT. I think MIT has this physics workbook that I'll link down in the description down below. I was doing a bunch of problems from there because I didn't have AP Classroom available to me, so I was just working through those problems. That was a really good resource. I used that for AP Physics 1 and got me a 5, so I was like, okay, this might work for AP Physics C. Turns out that I didn't give myself enough time to actually go through those problems, but a resource is a resource, right? I also watched a ton of the AP Daily videos on AP Classroom. So because I wasn't in a class to learn AP Physics C Mechanics, so what I decided to do is watch all the AP Daily videos. I watched them a lot for Physics 2 actually, and for Physics 2 the teachers were extremely knowledgeable about their content. They knew exactly what they were talking about. So I thought, okay, we'll try that for AP Physics C. The AP Physics C videos were not as good as the AP Physics 2 ones, but I did learn a lot from those videos, so I'm glad that I watched them. The thing about physics is you also need to put yourself through a ton of practice problems. Physics is a lot more problem solving intensive than bio, for example. So you need to actually try a ton of practice problems in order to become extremely good at physics. You need to do a problem after problem after problem. You need to put yourself into a ton of problem solving scenarios in order to become good at the subject. So my solid prediction for AP Physics C is a 4. Initially I was thinking a 3, but considering how clear this exam is, I'm going with a 4. Now here's why. I understand the content really well of Physics 1. Physics C is pretty much Physics 1, except there's some calculus. But the biggest difference is Physics C is so much faster, right? You need to answer questions a lot faster, and that's what Physics C is testing you on. Physics 1 is more like a marathon, where you're trying to do as much problems as you possibly can. Whereas Physics C, you're trying to do the problems as fast as you possibly can, trying to get as much possible right. So because of that difference between a marathon and a sprint, I kind of stumbled on that sprint a little bit, and also on the FRQs. There was this one really easy dynamics one. I screwed it up completely. I don't even know what I was talking about. But hey, you screw up, it happens, right? So I think I got a 4 in AP Physics C. Let's see what happens. Alright, I have predicted all of my AP scores this year for my classes. Now, let's head over to tomorrow, where I will actually react to my score. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so I hope everything is working right now. So right now I'm going to be checking my scores for the 2022 AP season. I will check the date first, just to make sure today's date is the July 5th. So let's get to it. AP scores. And yep, we're on view your AP scores. Sign in. It's now or never. Okay, AP Biology 5. Okay. AP Calc BC 5. AP Lang 4. Okay. AP Macro 5. AP Physics C 5. And then AP United States History 5. Alright, I'll take it. Not the best, but AP Lang 4, figured, but it's alright. I'm happy with everything else though. Right. That is a pretty low energy reaction, but I guess that's pretty much it. Alright, that was my score reaction. I hope you guys loved it. If you have any questions on my classes, on my AP scores, on pretty much anything academics related, honestly, let's open the window even further. If you have any questions about me, please let me know down in the comments below. One more thing that I want to add is AP scores, they're kind of useless. Actually, not kinda, they're hella useless. Regardless if you take AP classes or not, you can still end up where you want to be, essentially. It might take a little longer if you don't take AP classes or don't do as well in them, but you can still get to the end, right? It all matters about the journey. How fast or how slow you get through the journey doesn't really matter as long as you just go through the journey. That matters a lot more than, just qualifying or doing something, a lot more faster or a lot more slower than somebody else, right? You're just going through the journey. Doesn't matter how fast or how slow you're going through it. You guys will do great things in the future if you just believe in yourself, and that's all that really matters. All right, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next year for my 2023 AP score reaction video. Until next time, I'm out.